Good afternoon, everyone. I'm gonna jump right into this video because I've made this video several times already and I've run out of time every single time. So I'm going to be discussing a couple of things about the University of South Carolina Aiken that I think have really impacted the university's culture, its environment, and two things that I really truly think, one that I think has shaped the university, and then one that really I think will give you a feel for the campus and that institutional sage that our text discussed. And then I'm going to discuss the two current shifts that are occurring in higher education and how they are affecting student affairs professionals. So the first thing I want to discuss is a sculpture on the University of South Carolina Aiken's campus called the Double Knot Sculpture. So as an orientation leader in my undergraduate years, my mentors and my supervisors always stress the importance of discussing the double knot structure or the double knot sculpture as we were going through our tours around campus. The double knot sculpture is very interesting. It's actually currently housed in our Penland building, which is the business and administration building. It's housed right in the middle. It's surrounded by beautiful flowers and actually like water fountain. It's really gorgeous. But the double knot sculpture, essentially, it is a sculpture that represents the university's tie and connection to the surrounding Aiken community and the Aiken community's tie to the university. The university really prides itself on being a university of choice, on being a university that really embraces its community. And so that is a piece that a lot of our students and a lot of the parents like to hear, that the students will not only get a really great experience while they're on campus, but they'll also be given an opportunity to really invest in the community, either one that they grew up in, because a lot of the students that we had were local students, or they would be immersed in a community that maybe they were new to, and it would just give them a lot of opportunities to have a good time in college and also get to know the area in which their school is located. And then the second thing that I think is really shaping the university is the female chancellor, Dr. Sandra Jordan. So she became the chancellor of the university in 2012, and she not only was the fourth chancellor for the University of South Carolina Aiken, but she was the first female chancellor for the university, and she is still currently the chancellor. I think that this really speaks volumes about the direction we are moving in terms of higher education and its leadership. I think that for a long time there were a lot of males in the leadership positions, such as chancellors or presidents or vice presidents, deans, all those sorts of positions of administration. We saw a lot of males in those positions, and I think now we're starting to see this shift in more females taking on these leadership roles and these leadership positions in higher education institutions. And I think that is really interesting and very exciting for a female such as myself, knowing that there are those opportunities in which myself as a female could possibly become the vice president of a university, or even the chancellor or the president. I think that's very exciting, and that really gives me something to work towards. I think that glass ceiling is starting to dissolve in some ways in higher education institutions. Moving forward to answer the second question about the current shifts or the current issues that are happening in higher education, and how they may concern student affairs professionals. One of those is assessments. In my current role as a graduate assistant for student involvement, essentially we plan all the events on campus that the students fund with their student activities fees. And we use assessments for absolutely everything. Sometimes it becomes a pain, but it also shows the students that we are very invested in them. And then we also have data to back up possibly like why we're requesting more funding, or why we believe an event is not successful in producing student engagement. Using those assessments and their results are really, really a big help for us. And then the second thing I want to talk about is student development. I think that there has been a shift in student development on campuses of higher education, because I think for a while there we really were concerned about the institution itself and just seeing the institution thrive and not so much paying attention to the actual student and their development and their thriving. And so I think I personally have seen much more of a focus on student development and student engagement. And I think that we have also seen an increase in enrollment in a lot of our institutions because of this, because of our shift and our focus on student development, student engagement, and student learning. I still went over time, but I hope that I was able to give you something to discuss with me, and I look forward to watching and responding to your videos. Have a great one.